السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، الله أكبر، الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الصلاة خير من النوم. الصلاة خير من النوم. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ربنا زدنا علما اللهم أجرنا من النار. And inshallah, we'll be talking about another hadith from Imam Nawawi. This one is a common one, which is about brotherhood, hadith number 35. Inshallah, I'll read the Arabic and the translation and a brief summary about it. Bismillah. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تحاسدوا ولا تناجشوا ولا تباغضوا ولا تدابروا ولا يبع بعضكم على بيع البعض وكونوا عباد الله إخوانا. المسلم أخو المسلم لا يظلمه ولا يخذله ولا يكذبه ولا يحقره يحقره. التقوى هنا ويشير إلى صدره 3 مرات بحسب امرئ من الشر أن يحقر أخاه المسلم. كل المسلم على المسلم حرام دمه وماله وعرضه. رواه مسلم. On the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, do not envy one another, do not inflate the prices for one another, do not hate one another, do not turn away from one another, do not undercut one another in trade, but rather be slaves of Allah and brothers amongst yourselves. A Muslim is the brother of a Muslim. He does not oppress him, nor does he fail him, nor does he lie to him, nor does he hold him in contempt. Taqwa is right here, and he pointed at his chest 3 times. It is evil enough for a man to despise his Muslim brother. The whole of a Muslim is inviolable for another Muslim by his blood, his property, and his honor. So this hadith we can see focuses on the concept of brotherhood in Islam, and it lays out some pretty good out rules how to improve the brotherhood between the Muslims and what destroys brotherhood itself. Brotherhood is not a theoretical concept, and it's not just feelings that we hold for one another, and it comprises of many actions that we should do and that we should stay away from. And just because it's called brotherhood, that doesn't mean it's not relating to the sisterhood as well. They're both the same thing, but the Prophet ﷺ was just relating to the brotherhood as this moment. Then you cannot attain true brotherhood without knowledge, as knowledge is needed from fulfill certain actions we're told from, such as the correct way of demanding your rights from another Muslim brother. The Arabic word used for envy in this hadith, it means mutual envy, where both sides envy each other. A similarity for the word Arabic in the hadith is used for inflating prices on one another, um, and being hateful towards one another, turning away from each other, where they all imply the action that's being done in a mutual manner, that both sides are doing it. If one inflates the price, the other one will inflate the prices. If one's being hateful, the other one will be hateful. If one is turning away from that person, the other will turn away when he calls. So both of them are doing it. Ibn Rajab said that envy is for a person to hate for others from his kind to surpass him in anything that is praiseworthy. And this is set in the nature of mankind. And the believer should realize that they have a certain level of envy in their hearts, and this helps them attain piety. So the first sin that was actually committed was actually envy. The first word of ignorance was spoken by Iblis. So, that was in the higher world when they were in the akhirah, when they were in Jannah, and when they were with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the first sin that was committed on earth in this dunya was Qabil, who was envious of his brother and thus killed him. So both of the first sins were actually committed because of envy. So there are many different types of envy. Ibn Rajab said that number one, those who seek to remove the blessings of others by transgressing against them in speech and actions and trying to take the blessing for themselves and seek the benefit. Number two, to remove the blessings from others by transgressing against them in speech and action, but do not take the blessing for themselves. This is the worst step of envy, and this is the type of envy Shaitan had for Adam alayhi salam, our first prophet. Number three, those who strive to gain the same virtue of the person So they are jealous of him, wanting to be like that person. The ruling depends on what the person is jealous of. If it is something on the dunya, like having some status in their job or some status somewhere else, that is not good. But though it is not haram, but if it is related to religion, then it is a praiseworthy action and it's not considered as a hateful envy. Number four, those who want to find envy in their hearts, those who, if they find envy in their hearts, they try to remove it, and they do this by striving to be a good person. If they are envious of someone or something, they start making dua for themselves, and especially the things that they're envious for. So there are some causes of envy. First of all, number one, there's the love for dunya, or even the love for knowledge between the students of knowledge. Number two, the fear of rivalry. And we could see this throughout history with many political leaders that they would kill their brothers and they would kill so on and so forth just so they can get their own ruling, so they become king. So we see this throughout many times in history. And then number three, the fear of losing in dunya, like losing their wealth, their children, and anything that is temporary in this world. And last one, hatred to others. So these are the causes of envy. There are also effects of envy. These are a few effects of envy. Number one, it says in Surah Fath that the translation of the ayah says that you are removing the quality of the believer being merciful to each other, as mentioned in Surah Fath. Number two, it causes a punishment in the hereafter. Number three, it means that you are unhappy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number four, it is a quality of the disbelievers. And so this is a quality that we should not try to attain very often, but there are some times where we can, like before we have said that if it is in religion, trying to seek a praiseworthy position, that would be okay. But if you are doing it for something in this world so that you can get a greater status, and it would be temporary and there would be no benefit for you on the day of judgment, this is a type of envy that we should try to avoid. Number five, it is that your good deeds are going to be passed on to the one who are you envying. So say for example, you are envying someone because he got a brand new car or a brand new house or so on and so forth. So all the good deeds that you have been doing during that time when you were envying him would be passing on to this guy that you are envying. And last but not least, and envy leads to worry and anxiety of everything that you think of. So, say for example that you envy someone that he's going to get this position, so then you would start getting doubtful thoughts about weird things. So this is how envy can actually lead to worry and anxiety of anything that you can think of. جزاك الله خيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعواهم من الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله